I wanted to share my opinion and thoughts about the U.S. Open pool tournaments that are happening in Vegas right now. Those being the 10-ball, 8-ball, Banks, and as this video is being recorded, the One Pocket. So I'm going to start with the positives first and then the criticism, but I don't think the criticisms are that serious. I wouldn't even consider it criticism, maybe constructive criticism. But first of all, the venue, Griff's Bar and Billiards in Las Vegas. Can't think of a better room anywhere in the world, honestly. Maybe there are a handful of rooms elsewhere in the United States that are as good, but in my opinion, I don't think there are any that are better. So it is a pool player's dream. It's like pool playing Disney World is Griff's. And Mark Griffin, who founded it, knew what he was doing. He knew what he wanted. And God rest his soul, he did a great job when he gave us all Griff's. So, venue, top notch. Second thing, how the tournament is ran. I think the tournament is ran great. Couldn't tell by watching it that there were any like delays in matches or any controversies or problems, or maybe if there was any type of problems with the tournament coming off, it wasn't obvious to anybody watching it. So, well-run tournament as far as I can tell. The the pacing of it, some people would suggest that they overlap the 4 events to kind of condense the calendar, but I could see arguments either way for that. So, I really call that a drawback. The next thing, the stream. Don't know Collins's last name or full name, but there's Collins and then there's Molina Mike. Don't know Mike's actual name, but they do a fantastic job. The video quality is great. There's multiple cameras, multiple camera angles. They use PTZ cameras, so they get to zoom in. The only constructive feedback I would give them about it is to get rid of the chat box on the main screen, because on my phone I couldn't read it. Full screen on my computer, couldn't read it. And if I can imagine if I was watching it on a TV and I'm sitting back in my easy chair, not going to be able to see it, to read it. So he did get it out of the way when he did shift camera angles. When it got in the way, it wasn't that big of a deal, but I just think it's useless, and you could really just get rid of it. So that's the only thing about the other thing, people wanted to dog them about their commentary, but for me, my opinion here, if you're getting like expert play-by-play the whole time, number one, you have to pay for that. You're going to have to pay guys to do that. You have to throw them something. But this is a free stream, free. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute. But what they went for was like a virtual version, a streamed version of if you're sitting next, if you're watching a pool match in a pool hall and you're drinking some beers with some buddies, watching the match, sweating the match, and just the banter you would have as you're sweating a match, drinking beer with buddies. And that's what they were trying to replicate, and that they were successful. And I prefer that if I'm going to watch a stream over time, just to have some background noise. Maybe I'm not following it closely. I don't want like surgical analysis of it the whole time. I kind of prefer the informal, using some banter, some humor. So I thought their approach to the commentary was good. And then they had Jay Helford in at times. At times they had players in there that would want to come in and commentate. But I thought the commentary was fine. But there are people that need to realize that it is a free stream, and that you just need to dial back all the trolling. Just go be an asshole somewhere else. It is a free stream of high quality pool with high quality video and audio. So that's my thoughts on that. Now to the criticism that seems to be floating around out there about this event is that the reasoning behind having it when they have it is that the players would first go to the CSI and BCA and the other tournaments they're having in Vegas a week or so before, 2 weeks before. And instead of having to travel to another event, they would just stay in Vegas, and it would relieve or mitigate their travel expenses to play in these events. And so that was the reasoning, to try to draw more players. But these fields are small. But I can kind of, and then the criticism is that the players are burned out, so they don't want to play in the Griffs events, the U.S. Open events. And my question to that is, burned out about what? You're playing pool in Las Vegas. It's Pleasure City. How do you get burned out on being in Pleasure City? I don't know about that. I think maybe the thing is they're busting out. They're there for 2 weeks playing these other events, and they've gambled their bankroll completely away, and then they have to go home. I think that's more the case. I don't see myself getting burned out being in Vegas playing pool, especially at a place like Griffs. Now, a lot of the players this year left to go to Bosnia, so they didn't play in the last two. But I can kind of see the reasoning either way. I could see not wanting to be in Vegas for a month, but then I could see also not wanting to pay extra travel expenses to come back to Vegas at a later date. So my other thought on it is, as amateur players, and I think I'm going to do this next year, I think I want to go play in the 8-ball. I'm going to pay the money, because in what other sport, what other pursuit would you have a chance at going and playing a champion? Like if you're a golfer, when or how, you wouldn't be able to afford or have the opportunity to go play and possibly partner up with one of your golf heroes. It's just not going to happen. But in pool, you get that, you can have that experience, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Probably next year, go pay the entry and try to get in the tournament and play the tournament, because it does need a bigger field. Now, the quality of the field, people were criticizing, especially the One Pocket and the Banks, there wasn't enough talent. I think there was serviceable talent. There were some killers in that group in both fields, enough to make some compelling matchups. So I think even with a depleted field, these were events worth watching and sweating. So yeah, I think I'm going to go play in it next year, because I have family that I can stay with to kind of defray my expenses. And I think other amateurs, enthusiasts, should do the same to support the event and have a great pool experience. So that's all I have. This video is already long enough. I'll see you in the next one.